Is it gonna work? That was weird. Okay, I got stuck on the in-between screen. Hey, how's it going? Hey, happy Saturday. How's your weekend going? What's new? What are you guys working on? The same questions I asked every time we stream here on Saturday. What are you guys working on? I've been working on a ton of stuff, and I'll get to it here in a second, but curious what you guys are working on. I know that we've had a crazy week in weather. I usually start with weather. Crazy week in weather. We've had hurricanes. Hey, thanks. Hey, whoa, I didn't open the other thing. Let me open up something else. Totally not prepared. It's rookie hour. Real quick, included Noah. Hey, how's it going? Hey, thanks for the resub. Prime, 5 months. Thank you so much. Quantum Penguin, tier 1, 8 months. Resub, thank you so much. Thank you. I missed a couple of things this morning. But yeah, I usually start with the weather. Unfortunately for the Midwest, we've actually had pretty nice weather. I know everywhere else weather has been insanely crazy. Down south, out east, tons of rain, hurricanes, everything. So hope everyone's doing okay. Wild week in weather. I still can't believe the hurricane went up that far and pulled in that much rain and then dumped it on the East Coast and everywhere in between. So anyways, hopefully you guys are doing well. But outside of the weather, what's new with you guys? What are you working on? I've mentioned it a few times, but I'm getting so much closer. So I've been redoing this room that's becoming my new server room. I don't know if I'm going to call it the server room, the data center, the tech room. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I want a cool name for it, but usually when I name things, they're pretty boring. Life of a developer. It's so hard to name things, and then once you do, it's a boring name. So if you have some ideas for my server room name, let me know. But anyways, I've been working on that. Tons of home improvement, and every time I get something done, I'm like, you know what? In a couple of months, I'm going to wish I did something else, so I do something else, and that's how this whole entire project has gone. Run electricity. I'm like, I might as well put 2 outlets. Put in 2 outlets in the room. And then I'm like, I want 2 gangs in each outlet. Put in 2 gangs in each outlet. And then it just keeps going on and on and on. I finally found a couple of solutions, though, for, one, I'm super excited. I can't wait to share this with you because I think it will be pretty cool. And I'm going to share it. Probably end up doing a tour of my almost kind of new infrastructure. New since I guess my first home lab tour, but this one coming up will be, I guess, everything together, all in a new room. So I'm super excited to show you. And I've solved a couple of problems. I had a couple of problems. I tossed it out to you guys on Twitter and in Discord. You guys helped me out with running cables. I had another question about how do you guys mount all of your stuff that doesn't fit in your home lab, and I got some good ideas off of Twitter, but I found actually a really good solution for that. So I'm super excited. I think it's good. Trying to make it not as jank. Things on the wall. And when I posed that question out there on Twitter, a lot of people were like, well, that's way more than I have going on right now. Or, I have wire shelves. And so I've always felt like my wall board thing was a little jank. But it turns out it's actually been super, super functional. And it's worked out well for me. But this new one, I'm kind of liking it. So yeah, let me know what you guys are working on real quick. I'm going to get caught up on follows, and I call out some subs, but I'll call them out again. So I'm going to, there were actually quite a bit of follows. Man, thank you guys so much. I'm going to back it all the way up. Back it up. I'm going to back it up to Sado. Sado83, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Sado83, Tree for Free, Haas. Thank you guys for the follow. Quantum Penguin, thanks for the resub, tier 1, 8 months. I said that already, but thank you so much. Included Null, thank you so much. Prime, resub, 5 months. My Prime for you. Thank you. Thanks for spending your Prime sub on me. I really appreciate it. Jen Orion. I always want to say Jen Orion. But Jen Orion, resub, tier 1, 10 months. Thank you. Thank you so much. How's it going? Good to see you in here. Opti, 21. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Man of Skill. I like it. 1, 2, 3. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. So, and there was a Hype Train in here too. Man, thank you guys so much. Man, what an awesome intro. So I talked a little bit about what I've been working on, and you guys saw something that maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I released a video this morning on File Browser because I've been trying to make things a little bit easier. And so I don't know if you've seen it. Doesn't matter if you did or not. But File Browser can be a container, or can be just a process or a package that you install. But it gives you a web interface to actually be able to browse your files through a web interface. So think Dropbox, think Nextcloud, right? But not as bulky as either of those. And so I used Nextcloud for a long time. I still use Nextcloud. It's a perfect use case for a couple things I use it for. But when I need something super lightweight just to browse a file system, man, file browser is awesome. And so a lot of people have said like, so the perfect Kubernetes use case that I see a lot all the time is people mount a persistent volume and get a persistent volume claim. And then they're like, well, I want to edit files. I want to browse files. And I'm like, okay, it's super simple. It's just these 12 steps, kube control, copy files to there, or kube control, exec into that pod and edit that with VI. Hopefully the VI is on that container. If not, you're going to have to use Nano. If not, you're going to have to install them. So it's super complicated. So this is actually a great solution if you're using Kubernetes and you're mounting persistent volumes and you just want to modify some files really quick or transfer files into that volume. You mount it real quick, you transfer your files, you download your files, edit them, and then you dismount and tear the container down and be on your merry way, and it's like it never even happened. So I thought that was cool because one, it did fit a couple of my use cases. Then two, I was like, this is actually perfect for the folks who don't want to use a whole bunch of Kubernetes control commands. I'm totally fine with them. But even when I do it, I'm just like, really? I got to do all this? I've even gone as far as mounting whole entire Ubuntu or some Linux distribution container just to get in there to have the tools I need to work on that persistent volume to do it. So anyways, this makes things a little bit easier. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And also about that video, man, you guys are awesome, man. You guys are blowing it up. Like I looked at my stats. To be honest, I usually follow them really close, like really close. And I shouldn't look at it. It's like, for me, it's like Super Bowl Sunday. Like every time I release a video, like how's it doing? Click-through rate? How's comments? Anyone having problems? This time I couldn't because I was drilling holes and doing electricity. And I looked at it and I'm like, whoa, it's like number 2 out of 10. And for me, that's awesome because 2 out of 10 for me really is a 1 out of 10 because my top video right now is totally an anomaly. It was an anomaly. And I'm just like, okay, this is like once a year type video that blew up out of my last 10. So 2 out of 10 to me, it's really 1 out of 10. So anyways, you guys are awesome. Thanks for paying attention to my stuff. So anyways, that was a lot about me. What about you guys? I mentioned what I've been working on. I'm curious to know what you guys are working on. You guys are always working on some awesome stuff. And to be honest, like I'm always super inspired by you guys and what you're working on. You give me so many ideas, not only here in the stream, but also in Discord too. So many ideas. Oh, Hype Train? Yeah, I'll share that. Why not? So anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys are working on. And I know you guys say to me like, hey, thanks for your videos. You inspire me, but I truly mean it that you guys inspire me and you guys help me think about things a lot different by just sharing what you're working on. It gives me so many ideas. So one second, I got something in my throat. Okay, sorry about that. Probably drywall dust and dust and everything. So let's see who is here first. Jenna Ryan here first. Thank you for being here. Hopefully it's going well. Jenna Ryan first. Let's see. Salvarius, how's it going? You're filling in for iLoot or something? I caught that in Discord. He was saying you're on recruiting point today for Discord. Homeland News, Stream Hype, how's it going, Homeland News? Good to see you. IOPS34, hi, how's it going? Gigafied, oh hey. A stream, yeah it is. How's it going? Hopefully you're still here and hopefully things are going well. Soberbot, hey, how's it going, Soberbot? Good to see you. Salvarius, oh yeah. Sunset Golfer, hey Tim, how's it going? Sunset Golfer, how you doing today? Bottled Up Jam, I like it. Great timing. Literally just finished up the file browser video. All right, awesome. What'd you think? Something you would use? I get it that not everyone has a need for this, but I have a few, like I said, a few use cases where I'm like, this is perfect. Still don't know if I'm gonna all out replace Nextcloud with it. I mean, because Nextcloud has so many more features, but in the quick and dirty, need a web interface to do something real quick, it would be awesome. Some other people, like so many people in the comments had so many great use cases for it I didn't even think of. Like, hey, use this as a way to expose some files to some people on your network, like your kids or something like that. I was like, yeah, that's pretty awesome. PC Geek, what's up, man? How's it going? PC Geek back from vacation. How was your vacation? Camping. totally offline. I love it. I love it. Hopefully he had some time to disconnect and recoup and come back to well, you came back to Memorial or Labor Day weekend, and now back to the grind on Tuesday. But that's far away. I don't even want to think about that. Salvarius, all right, already using the command already. All right, Sly Human, waiting for you. Hi, how's it going? Creepinson, hi, how's it going? Creepinson, good to see you. That was for iLoad. Yeah, totally was. Thank you, I appreciate it. ISO, good evening. How's it going? Soberbot, PC Geek, nice to see you again. Yeah, he was MIA. He was on vacation, camping in his new camper. Included Noel, how's it going? Man, lots of highs. Thank you. Manny01, hey everyone. M da Bomb Ayo. Trick Film, hey. Any news? Here we go. Put me on the spot. No, I like questions. Trick Film, hey, any news about Rancher with traffic on Kubernetes with full HA, multiple databases, Kubernetes masters and nodes? Yeah, about that. So I mean, that's how I run my Kubernetes right now. That's how I run it in my environment. So any news on creating a video? Not at the moment. Like, it's definitely in my backlog. I have so many awesome videos like I want to do in my backlog. I just need to get some other ones out before first. It's something that I have documented in my documentation. I don't have a video on it, but the documentation will walk you through, setting up K3S, and you would set that up with etcd instead of MySQL. You get quick HA data store going that way. Or if you're going to do MySQL, you have lots of ways to make MySQL HA. So I don't think I would cover on how to make MySQL HA because that's a video in itself. Just by using, an HA data store like MySQL or have it in high availability, you would get that. But anyways, and then I do have traffic and documentation, and I do have things. I just, I haven't had the time. That's a super duper dense topic. Like, I would love to. The only challenge is with topics like that. One, they're super dense. I don't mind attacking really hard problems and trying to break those down for folks. I don't mind that at all. But when you have that many disparate systems, things change a lot. And so my only fear is, I spend, a week doing that, creating that, and then, everything changes and then it becomes irrelevant. Not that it would, but things change over time. I mean, I've had to deal with that my whole entire YouTube journey as new versions, breaking changes. And that's basically why I created documentation now, is because this gives me a chance to kind of make some kind of amendments to my videos, even though I can't make changes to my videos. It's a way that I could say, hey, I understand it's changed. In the video, it's this, now do this. Long story short, I would love to, I just need the time and prioritize it. It's definitely in my backlog. And that's why I created the documentation first, because a lot of people had asked for it, and I didn't want people to have to wait for a video. So I created that documentation, put it out there. But Trick Film, check it out. Let me know if it works for you. A lot of people have opened pull requests on that and made changes as the story changes for Rancher, Kubernetes, K3S. They've been making changes to that documentation as well. So let me know. Tree for free. Hey, Tim, I haven't joined your stream in quite some time. Just got an old Dell PowerEdge R420, nice, from work, and experimenting with it as a host for my Docker containers right now. Awesome. That sounds awesome. Plenty capable. Sounds like you got a good machine, and you said you got it from work and referred to it as old. So I'm assuming you got it for free. So congratulations on the new system. That sounds fun. It sounds like an awesome weekend. Good long weekend here if you're in the US and you have Labor Day off. You get a little extra time to tinker. I love it. Piece of Geek, had a nice vacation off. I had a nice vacation, week off myself, and back to home labbing now. Yeah, man, that's what I was saying. You are back in action. Sorry, one more thing. Sorry, sawdust or something in my throat. PC Geek picked up a 2U R520 bare bones on eBay for 120 ship. That is a heck of a deal. Sounds like a heck of a deal. 120 bucks for 520, and if everything's working, that's awesome. And shipping alone on that thing was probably 30, 40 bucks. So you got a heck of a deal, man. Yeah. What are you going to use it for? The dev, sorry, not the devil. No, I don't know how I got that. I guess I didn't clean my glasses enough. The dev, hey, how's it going? Silverbot, you are checking out Cryo. Cryo. I don't know if I know Cryo yet. I mean, is a container runtime interface, but I don't know what the O is. So CRI, I think, is a container runtime interface for Kubernetes. I don't know about O yet, so I'll have to look in O. But how's that going? Note to self, look into Cryo. I like the name, though. I like pronouncing acronyms. Hopefully they pronounce it that way. But Silverbot sounds awesome. Sounds like a super dense and deep topic. You have piqued my interest, for sure. Bottled Up Jam, what are people using for notes? I have a bunch on Notion, but find it kind of clunky and just has more features than I need. Looking for something I can sync between devices and ideally self-host. Funny you ask this because I posed this same question to my team at work. What do people use for personal notes? Because I've been all over the place with personal notes. Used to be a huge OneNote fan before it even had a great web interface. I still am a OneNote fan, but kind of moved on. Used Google Keep for a while. I still have a lot in Google Keep. I've used Evernote. I have started using Notion, kind of, sort of, just kind of exploring it. But I kind of agree that there's a lot baked into there. Like, I don't need a Kanban board in my notes. I see what they're going for. I like the idea that they have going on for team notes, but they're trying to add additional features to it or have added additional features to it that I probably wouldn't use. So I'm kind of on that same journey, looking for something better for notes. For me, ideally self-hosted. Yeah, I agree. It would be nice if there was some, product out there that was really good at taking notes and self-hosted and get a lot of the features I need, like sharing. I absolutely have to be able to share some of my notes and ad hoc sharing too, individual notes. Just because my wife and I, that's how we share notes. We share recipes, stuff like that. Curious what you come up with. This is definitely in my backlog to look at, to do some more investigation on self-hosted note-taking apps. So far, I've been using, one from the major 3-4 out there. I've even used Apple Notes too, and that's just really quick. Jot some stuff down. Like, don't even, don't even try to organize them. It's just like a quick note. So yeah, and my journey is, it's always led me back to Microsoft, Apple, Google, not really Evernote anymore, and then to Notion, which is kind of new kid on the block and not as big as those other ones. So I have some investigation too. A lot of people that I talk to, and this is anecdotal evidence, most people that I talk to when I pose the same question were either using OneNote, Evernote, or, iCloud, Apple Notes. No one said Google Keep. I was like the only one. Well, actually someone said they did, and then they switched back to OneNote. Google Keep just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. It's basically like virtual Post-it notes, and I don't know, and you tag everything, and I get it, but it just doesn't feel like a note-taking app. It feels like I'm making a bunch of Post-it notes, where maybe that's okay, but some of my notes end up being, this big on the screen, and some are this big, and I don't know. Maybe it's all UX. Maybe it can fix in UX. I'm not sure. But real quick, Salty German Sausage, like it, has resub tier 1, 6 months, 6 months streak. Thank you so much. Love your videos and the Saturdays family man. How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, thank you for that. I think I have to get caught up on follows too. Sorry, I've been diving into you guys' topics too. Crispy Bacon, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Zooey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. It looks like there was another one. X's throw me off sometimes when they're in names, because in Mandarin they're like SHs, and then everywhere else it's kind of Wild West how you pronounce them. I'm gonna go with Ziron Nima. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Welcome. Let me know how to pronounce your name too. Shepard, did I mention Shepard Demaloon? Thank you. Long range effort. Thanks for the follow. Did I miss all these? Oh. Well, I probably did miss this because I don't recognize that name. Guidorek, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. JCX Life, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Did I miss subs too? Oh man, Zynol, thanks for the sub, appreciate it. I need to turn my alerts back audibly so I can pay attention to them. And Long Range Effort, you sub, thanks for the Prime sub, 2 months. Thank you so much. If I missed someone, tell me, because I didn't have my notifications open and they're not audible to me right now for some reason, so I apologize. So anyways, note-taking apps, I'm on this in the same boat you are. Maybe I'll have something soon. I do want to go all in with some note-taking app service. You know, another hesitation I have with going with, you know, not one of the big three is that like it's another subscription service you have to pay for if you exceed storage quota or if you want some additional features. The nice thing about going with the big three or four, when I say the big three, it's usually Apple, Microsoft, Google. But if you go with one of the big three, everything's free and it's just backed by storage. So as long as you have storage on your account to hold all of your notes or email or anything like that, they have the shared storage model, you're usually fine. And you get every single feature and there's no upcharge because, they're just mining your data anyway. So that's kind of the fee. So yeah, I'm curious to know what you find out. I'm looking. Oh, real quick. So PC Geek says DocuWiki. Yeah, absolutely. DocuWiki is a great, note-taking or wiki app for sure. Absolutely. He talks about it a lot. I've looked at it. It looks pretty cool. If we're going into I'm thinking of like casual notes, like, hey, this is what I need to pick up from the store. I'm thinking more broadly on notes, at least for me. This is what I need to pick up from the store. This is how I make this recipe. Here are the instructions on how to do this thing. Just a wide range. Or even here's this image that I found somewhere that I want to just remember or keep. And I only have my note-taking app. If we go into like technical documentation, DocuWiki is pretty good. Technical documentation, I usually, you guys see it. I turn it into code. So I do it in either YAML or use Markdown syntax. And I just do it that way only because I'm a developer. So for me, it just kind of feels natural. Like I've written tons and tons of README files in code repos. And so I'm pretty familiar with Markdown. And two, I like the version control. And then, I just manage it like a code repo. Not for everyone. Can't do it easily from my phone. But this is technical documentation. And so sometimes I need less formal note-taking for day-to-day. That's what I was talking about earlier. More formal or focused for technical documentation for me is usually code. Not for everyone, though. I make it too hard. I make it too hard on myself. I don't know why. Creepinson, I'm working on developing HomeLab panel that will be using Kubernetes API as a base. I like it. I want to see this HomeLab panel. Creepinson is always whipping up new GitHub repos. He shares them quite a bit. And I look at him. He shares them quite a bit in our Discord channel. But he's always coming up with something new. I'll have to take a look at this as soon as you're ready to share it, if you haven't already. I'll check out in the community projects channel later on today. Expect that. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully you're doing well, Creepson. Salty German sausage. I use Bookstack and DocuWiki. All right, Bookstack's one I got to look into too. DocuWiki I know about. Pizza Geek's a huge fan of that. He uses it quite a bit. Ellie Brody. What's the talk about? The talk today is about whatever you want to talk about. Throw something out here. Let's talk about it. Whatever you're working on is usually a good topic because one, I'll try to relate, and two, you can absolutely relate to it. So it's kind of open forum. It's almost like an AMA, kind of. Shouldn't go that far, but it's kind of, let's talk about tech. Let's chat about tech, and it usually ends up being HomeLab networking servers type stuff because I'm interested in that stuff, and I think you guys are too. But it can be anything, really. Sometimes people throw out developer questions to me. I'll gladly answer them if I can. I don't know if you should take my advice, but I'll try to answer them for sure. IoT me. I like it. IoT me. Labs. Subscribe. Tier 1. Thank you so much. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Silverbot. No, I missed this. Salvarius. Let's see what I have on my plate this weekend. Starting to configure and test the new R220 pfSense box. Nice little box. I think that's one you. Putting some final touches on my brother's new network gear that I will install next week. I like it. Helping your bro out. I like it. Your real bro. Yeah, I like it. It sounds fun. I wish my brothers lived closer because I would totally hook them up. I mean, I try to when I go home, and I try to hook them up when they text me, hook them up with knowledge, but I would love to hook them up more with tech and build a mini version of what I'm building in my basement right now and all my family's home. Sounds fun. So, hey, that's very nice, you Salvers, helping out your brother with some networking. I like it. Soberbot 94 confused as to how I run containers built using Builda using CRIO. I mean, want to run CRIO without Kate. So I'm not familiar with CRIO. It sounds like this is kind of what I was reading about the other day. If it's that, but so you want to run CRIO. I see. So CRIO must use Kubernetes container runtime interface to do something that's like Kubernetes, but not Kubernetes. So I like where you're going here. Sounds interesting. And it's something I just heard the other day is, at what point does Kubernetes now become a commodity where someone builds something on top of that, just like what happened to Docker or Containerd now. Something could come by and put a facade or a layer on top of Kubernetes to make Kubernetes now a commodity. So I think that's what you're referring to. I'll have to look into it. I'm not too familiar with Buddha, not Buddha. Freudian slip? No. I'm not familiar with Builda. I mean, I know what it is. It's a container build system, but I wish I could help. I need to do some more investigation. Yeah, I can't help you. But I assume that CRIO would, is running something that is compliant with the way that Builda builds Docker images. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these build tools that are coming up, like, I use one now built by Google, Canico, which basically re-implemented the Docker API, but without Docker, to be able to build containers and actually run the builder inside of Kubernetes, because it doesn't require root access and it doesn't require a whole bunch of other stuff. So Google basically said, we're going to build our own Docker build system that is Docker compliant, so people can still use their Docker files. And I think Builda is kind of the same. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I mean, maybe if Builda isn't working for you, Canico is another good alternative to Docker's build function. Canico with the K, Kaniko, I believe. And I have Docker repos on. I have GitHub repos with examples on how to build on Canico, if that's what you're thinking. If this issue is specific to build, I'm not sure. Because it might be just anything built that you're having issues with. But not. Let me do some investigation. I need to learn more about CRIO. Sly Human. I have a question for you. Can you tell me the specifications of your VMs for Kubernetes? RAM, hard drive, and CPU. I'm thinking about Kate's to start. Yeah, all right. Let me grab a drink. How much time you got? Yeah, sure. Don't quote me on this. I'm going to give you rough idea about what they are. And I can tell you the exact here in a little bit. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, if I sneeze, I'll mute it. But anyways, I take a pretty kind of a broad approach to a lot of my virtual machines. I used to tailor them a lot and say, well, this machine's got to have, this much RAM and this much CPU, and I'm only going to give it so many cores and so much disk space. And I realized that I was putting so much brain power into remembering what I set it to or having to investigate that now I kind of do the same for all, especially with Kubernetes nodes. You know what? I'll even look right here real quick. Let's look. I can probably show you my screen too. Like I don't have secrets. Well, I guess I got a little bit. I'll tell you real quick, because to be honest, like these nodes, I haven't touched them in so long. So all of my Kubernetes nodes, looking at this real quick. For my Kubernetes nodes, so there's two things. I have generic servers, VMs that I give all the same. And then I did do Kubernetes nodes a little bit different. I take that back. I'm backpedaling. For Kubernetes nodes, I kind of looked at cloud and how cloud does it. Depending on your cloud provider, they have templates for small, medium, large, extra large. Disk space is totally up to you because you just mount disks in the cloud. And so what I went with my nodes, because I have a little bit of RAM to spare. I think I have 0.5 terabyte of RAM across my two servers. But I have 8 CPUs for every Kubernetes node and 16 gigs of RAM, and all of them have 60 gig hard drive space. So all of my nodes, whether they're workers or servers or Kubernetes API servers, agents, old term masters, they're all 8 CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, and 60 gigs of hard drive space. So far, that's been working out for me, and I've had them running. I mean, I've had versions of my cluster running for over a year now, and it's worked out pretty well. Like Kubernetes does a pretty good job of cleaning up old containers. I don't really run out of disk space all that much ever, but you know that's been working out for me. But let me know if you know something different. Like if you're doing single node, it's way different. Like all bets are off on what your node sizing should be because you only have one node, and so you're just going to stack it, right? If it's single node Kubernetes cluster, quote unquote cluster with a single node, you're going to end up stacking it. You're going to end up giving it as much RAM as possible, as much compute possible or CPU as possible, and as much disk space as possible. But you're probably not talking about that. You're asking specifically about individual nodes. So that's me. 8 cores, 16 gigs RAM, 60 gigs of disk space. And I think I have a total of 4, 3, 7 plus. I think I have 10 or 13 nodes. I'll do the math later. But so, that all kind of adds up too. Arguably, I could totally scale this down. I went overboard. I kind of, did it by the book according to what, Rancher and Kubernetes says, and separated a lot of my concerns. Arguably, I can consolidate a lot of this, but it's been working for me, and I'll jump off that bridge when I get there. I'll cross that bridge when I get there, I guess I should say. But yeah, that's how it goes, Sly Human. Let me know. Dark Side VT. Hey, all, first time stopping in. Hope everyone's doing well. Hey, thank you. Yeah, welcome. So let's see what's going on. Hey, how is everyone? Abdurham, how's it going? Sly Human. I bought a 3D printer. It's awesome. Trying to learn some Home Assistant too. Nice. I still have not purchased a 3D printer yet. I almost had the exact use case that I was talking about. Like I need something that a project where it's like, if I buy a 3D printer, now I can finally do this one thing or stop buying these other things that I buy. And I almost bought one because I needed basically like a 4-inch grommet that was for some reason kind of hard to find. You can find them, but it's like a week shipping and all this stuff. And I was like, man, if I had a 3D printer, I could totally, print this, 4-inch grommet, and it would totally go up into my ceiling where my network cables are coming in. But I didn't do it yet. But awesome. What are you printing out? I'm always curious what people print out. Because I know you can do the traditional like trinkets, figurines, like just stuff or like fun stuff, right? But I'm always curious, like, are people printing out applied stuff? Like I know you can print out stuff for your rack and anything else, but I'm always curious because I need a reason. I need a reason. And trying to learn Home Assistant too. Awesome. I love Home Assistant. It can be kind of a daunting task at first setting up. A lot of YAML, a lot of configuration. But once you get in, there are a lot of knobs in there you can turn to kind of adjust like some of your settings and scenes and your automations. But it's once you get it going, I think it's totally worth it. It's a lot of configuration though. For sure. That's for sure. Moha joke. Hey, how's it going? Salute from France. Hey, thank you. How's it going? Run as administrator. Salute from France. How's it going? Good to see you. Droid RZ Lover. Yo, Tim. I'm rocking some cool shiz in my network. I have firepower running. I don't even know what firepower is, but I want it because it sounds awesome. Hey, good to see you. I'll have to look up firepower. Note to self, CRIO and firepower. Is it a networking tool? I know I've heard of it. The devil, it will. It's Voivoda. Hey, how's it going, man? Voivoda. How's it going, man? It's Famous Tim. Hope you're doing well, bud. Man, good to see you too. So, Voy, another guy that used to come, we used to play a lot of games together when I used to stream games. So how's it going, man? Good to see you. He taught me how to play Monster Hunter, or actually taught me how to play it because I was playing Monster Hunter a lot I was kind of getting into it, and he took me under his wing, and we killed and slayed lots of monsters. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Good to see you here. These are all messages. My prime for you. Thank you included. Null. Techno Tim, how's the Weed Center coming along? Salvarius. It's coming along. So, yeah. So if you just heard that, I'm not growing weed in my house. No, I joke because, I'm converting this old sauna that was in my house to now my server room, which for a while was just a storage room. The reason why I say that, and Salvarius is joking, is because on our electrical panel, the panel said it's sauna, and I think it even had quotes on it. I need to take a picture of it and share it. But there's zero evidence that there was a sauna in here. There's like a hole, where some exhaust went, but other than that, like it's drywall, and so I kid around and say it was a grow room. So, anyways, I'm converting it to another hot room, which will be my server room. Definitely not growing wheat though. Oh man, feds are gonna show up. The dev. Why do I keep saying the devil? I got the devil in the mind. I apologize. Doing good, working on Proxmox right now. Not like this. Yeah, it can be fun. It can be fun for sure. Proxmox is one of those things. It's like, especially if you're gonna be tweaking stuff and like you want to pass through GPUs and set up ZFS, like those are things like, they're kind of dense, they're kind of challenging to set up at first, but once you get them and get it working, you never touch that again. Write down what you did and copy off your config, because you might have to do it again someday. But for the most part, once you get it going, it's set and forget it. Like GPU pass through for me, like I figured out, I think about a year and a half, 2 years ago now. Haven't touched it since, used the same config. It's awesome. Same with, that big long list of Proxmox stuff I have. That I do every time I set up a new Proxmox server. I follow that same guide, and it's good to go. Now, the couple additional things I do is, I add them to the cluster, but other than that, it's pretty awesome. The Bitmonger, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Welcome, how you doing? Moha joke, Kubernetes on GKE. All right. Oh, I missed this one. So, Zynol, that's what I'm going with. Third stream, I'm catching you live now. First time chatting. How's it going? Good. Thank you. Been following your YouTube videos for a while. Great content overall. Thank you. I'm currently working on setting up VLANs. Awesome. So far, it's been on a single network. I've been there. A video on it would be great enough. I knew where this was going. So Zynol, I will say that like this has come up quite a bit, and I just want to give a shout out to It's My Natural Color. So if at least if you're using Unify, that's how I learned how to set up all of my VLANs. It's My Natural Color. So I mean, you might not be using Unify gear. If you're not, there are probably lots of tutorials out there on how to do it. You're probably using pfSense. If not, I'm just making guesses and assumptions. But if you are using Unify, It's My Natural Color has a great 4-part series on how to do it. Part 3 is where I followed to do it, and so that might be helpful to you. If it's pfSense, I think, correct me if I'm wrong. I think there are a lot of videos out there, maybe not. But I'm sure Tom Lawrence probably has one from Lawrence Systems. If it is pfSense, like a lot of the deep technical stuff for pfSense, I say check out Tom's stuff because he's got great stuff. And then if you want to do VLANs on Unify, Craft Computing has something, but It's My Natural Color has like the guide that I followed twice now on how to set them up from scratch, and it's great. But higher level, going from a flat network to VLANs is quite the step. And it's awesome once you get it there, because like everything you're worried about, and should I move my IoT to another network, and should all of my devices be on the same network, be chatting with each other? What happens if one system gets compromised? All of that stuff I used to worry about, I don't worry about anymore. Don't get me wrong, I still freak out about systems getting compromised, but I know that now at least my network is segmented. I think I have 5 VLANs, so. Worst case scenario, if one device on one of those 5 VLANs gets compromised, at least I've, stopped the hemorrhaging and stopped the bleeding and segmented it to that network only. And if it is one of my IoT devices, chat it up with my other IoT devices. Have fun because they're all in the same thing. So, anyways, I'm not not encouraging anyone to do that, but I'm just saying, these are things that I worry about quite a bit. You're probably worried about too, which is why you're looking into it. But it's awesome once you get it. It's super awesome. It's super awesome. I encourage you, if you have a super flat network at home, and especially if you're doing self-hosting, especially if you have anything IoT, consider breaking it up into multiple VLANs. You're going to end up creating a lot of firewall rules, but that's okay. That's okay. Firewall rules are good. And you're going to have to do some planning up front. That's okay. Like I said, It's My Natural Color has even a Google Doc spreadsheet, a Google sheet on how to break up your network. And it's totally agnostic of any platform, but it helps you think about, kind of what goes where. It's fantastic. Anyways, it was tough for me. It took me a while. I mean, there were a couple days where I'm just like, implementing. I will say though, too, if you're going to go down this journey of doing VLANs, set up DNS for your devices at the same time. Because if not, there's just going to be a ton of redundancy. Like, you're making DHCP reservations for new devices. Like, at that same time, create, a DNS record if depending on the DNS system that you're using, do that at the same time. I made the mistake of doing it right after instead of during, and I felt like I was doing all the work twice. So anyways, fun journey. Good luck. But let me know if you need help. Absolutely hop in Discord and let's talk about it. Moha joke. Kubernetes on GKE. Yeah, I know that. So Google Kubernetes engine. Yeah, awesome. That's what you're working on. Awesome. I know GKE pretty good. Done quite a few things there. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Salty German sausage. Hey Tim in chat. How's it going? The dev. I'm not gonna say the devil. At least now, no snow in Michigan. Yeah. Oh, I skipped PC Geek, but real quick, yeah, no snow in Michigan. Yeah, that's a good thing. I'm hopefully not. I mean, I'm up in Minnesota now, and no snow, please. At least not yet. I want to fall. Like, summer started here real fast. I think it was like in April we got 80 and 90. I'm like, what is going on? And it hasn't let up until now. I feel like it kind of got part of my spring back now, and I want fall to take a long time. So, or autumn. Pizza Geek, it's been a whole year for me. Hit 12 months yesterday. Yeah, dude, thanks for your sub. So funny thing, like these lights, I haven't written the code yet to basically say, hey, if I'm streaming, change and flash lights and go crazy in here. If I'm not, don't do anything. I haven't written that code yet. So every now and then these lights just turn on and start flashing. I'm like, oh, thank you. I get a little choked up. I'm like, oh man, somebody subbed to me and I wasn't live. And thank you to that person. I say thank you because I look at the screen and I'm like, oh, thank you, so-and-so. Anyways, PC Geek did it yesterday. And I come in here and lights are blue and the things are flashing. It was pretty awesome. So I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the year of sub. Thank you. Even light changing happens when no one has changed them yet, but just know that changing the lights actually does still change the lights when I'm not live. I need to write the code to basically do a live check first. I just haven't done it for some reason. It's on my list of to-dos, but I kind of enjoy it. It hasn't happened yet while I've been on a meeting for work with Zoom. That would actually be pretty awesome. Speaking of light changes, yeah, so that actually works 24/7, 365 in my house. Okay, so let's see. JF Matter just got my 2-in-1 system together. Nice. Yeah, dude, John. That's John, right? Yeah, I think it is. Dude, nice, man. You were talking about it a little bit the other day, your 2-in-1 system, gaming, streaming. Love it. I love it. I keep trying to find a way to build one. I want to, instead of just building a massive, overkill system, put 2-in-1 so one can actually, encode the stream and one actually is actually the rest of my setup. So awesome, man. Awesome. Mathny, I'm on the road trip to Los Santos. Nice, man. Road trip sounds great about now. Well, be safe. Hopefully it's going well. I don't know how far your trip is, but hopefully you get some good weather and good driving. I enjoy driving. I really enjoy road trips and just driving in general. I love it. I love it. I always have. Salty German sausage. Trying to convince myself to switch from 30 watts R210 to 180 watt R720 for 24/7 running. Oh man. Yeah, that's a lot more watts. Yeah, for sure. Like yeah, it depends on what you're running. You're trying to convince yourself. Like going from R210 to R720 is a lot more power, a lot more compute, but it depends on what you're running into. I think R210 is 1U, and so I think you might be going to a 2U then, R720, so you can get some additional PCI slots and stuff like that. That's a big reason why people make that jump, but curious why you're going to make that jump, because man, I ran a 710 here for over a year, and it uses a lot of power. Arguably, I needed that compute because it was running all of Kubernetes. It is basically running everything. But curious what you're going to run, because yeah, it can draw a lot of power. I always advise against using like a 710 or 720 just as NAS. Like if you're just going to run true NAS and find something more low power, because you'll notice that on your power bill. But if you're going to be running virtual machines and things that involve a lot of compute or more compute than you normally would otherwise, like it's a fantastic machine for sure. Ribs. Thanks for following. Appreciate it. Welcome. Trick Film. I'm working on complex Discord bot with TypeScript. All right, I like it. I'm a huge fan of TypeScript. I do TypeScript. I built Discord bots too. My Discord bot that I have out in GitHub isn't in TypeScript yet. I should convert it. It'd be super easy, but a huge fan of TypeScript. Tech Rookie, hey, thanks for following. Appreciate it. Welcome. Included Null. In my day job, I work with React. All right, here we go. Speaking my language. In my day job, I work with React, Node.js, and AOCO. I don't know that. Smart contracts, C++. Okay, that's probably why I don't know that. So for my personal projects, I've been working with React, Node.js, EOCO, smart contracts too. Yeah, I know how that goes. It happens to me quite a bit. Either you learn something at home, you bring it into work, or you learn something at work and you bring it home. Super fantastic. I've done it a ton. But yeah, I'm the same way. Work, I do a lot of TypeScript, a lot of Node, a lot of React.js, and a lot of React Native. And at home, it's pretty much the same thing, more so on the Node.js and React. And JavaScript, TypeScript, I guess everything, all the above. But same here. ISO, no big weekend projects, just installing Proxmox on a Nook and doing some research, figuring out the washing machines can be repaired on my budget, I assume, on a budget. If the washing machine can be repaired on a budget. I assume that's budget. Man, can they be repaired on a budget? Yeah, that's tough. I've never, fortunately, I can't remember if mine has ever died, and if it has, I don't think so. But if it has, yeah, can you repair it yourself? That's a question I ask myself all the time. If it's a motor, maybe. I don't know. When it comes to plumbing and electrical, I'm kind of like iffy, especially plumbing. I just don't have the expertise or the patience for it. But electrical stuff, I can kind of figure it out. But there's definitely a place I don't go with electrical. That's anything beyond like a receptacle or a junction box. Anything else, I'm just kind of like, nope, not my area of expertise. But I hope you get it figured out. Proxmox on a Nook is actually awesome. That's what I do. My third Proxmox node is actually an old Intel Nook, one of the first ones that had a Core i5 with that supported virtualization, which has ended up being perfect for me like 10 years later, because I run Proxmox on it and I run like 2 VMs as my one, the Proxmox itself is Quorum for the rest of my cluster, and then 2, the virtual machines that are running on there are actually Quorum for my Kubernetes too. So it worked out perfect. But after 2 virtual machines and Proxmox running on that old system, it's the fan's really kicking off. I should look into like a little bit higher powered Nook, one that has like M.2 support or something like that, because it has the old hard drive in there. I forget, like mini SATA or something, and it's like, am I going to spend $300-400 on some old deprecated tech just to upgrade this? Probably not. But anyways, it's awesome. I'm so surprised at how capable Intel NUCs are too, for sure. Let's see. Endabomb. I've been applying for software dev jobs. Nice. The one sent an automated email telling me to do a technical assessment creating an API. Oh, awesome. I've been working on it, but it's going to take me days to finish. Is this basically a scam? Waste 4 days building an API when I can be applying to other places. Would be a shame if I spend all this time and not to get a response from them. Yeah, so good question. Let me grab a drink. Yeah, so good question. Like, you know, I've done those types of assessments too. I actually, when I applied at a big company that I wanted to work for, they kind of did the same thing too. They're like, they knew the type of work I was applying for, so they had, you know, basically build this thing, you know, and it was basically reproduce this front end for this very large retailer. I was like, yeah, no problem. I can do that. I kind of went overboard and I actually built the back end too and the API and then actually hosted it in Azure too. And I was like, and then I hosted the whole thing in Azure, front end, back end, and even built a mobile component too. And I'm like, here's everything. So that actually worked, by the way. But anyways, that aside, like, you know, the company that I used to work for is kind of dialed that back a little bit too. Because there's something weird about asking people to do work when they don't work for you yet is kind of, you know, kind of a gray area. But I would say, like, if it's a company you want to work for, I would say go for it. Because if anything, one, you get to learn something. Hopefully it's something you kind of know already. If they're asking you to do that type of work, hopefully it's something that you've done before. If not, then you get to learn from it. And two, you know, it's a chance to show them, you know, that you are dedicated. They probably have a lot of people that are just like, I'm not doing this. You know, a lot of companies don't ask for that anymore. A lot of them do in-person type interviews because of what I mentioned before. It's like asking someone to do work for you when they don't work for you. Yeah, it's kind of a gray area. But you know, I would say do it. Host it somewhere, like in, you know, GitHub, GitLab, somewhere public, and just iterate on it and show them. But 4 days of working on it is a lot of work. Seems like they're asking, they have pretty big requirements, I guess I should say. Because if it's, you know, like an API, like if I think about it, it's like, okay, backend, data store, you got your models. You have an API that serves it out and does the DTO stuff and transforms it and sends it out in JSON through some endpoint. And there's an API. And depending on what they're asking you to do, they might be asking a lot. But M to bomb, I hope it works out. If it's a company you want to work for, I'd say go for it. If it's a company that, you know, I don't know, you've never heard of or you're not genuinely interested in, maybe question it. I don't know. That's probably not good advice. But you're questioning it here, so I think it's fair to ask those types of questions, especially to a recruiter that's asking you to do something that, you know, seems like a lot. If they're like, hey, build this whole entire backend, and, you know, basically having you do dev work for free, that's a pretty interesting scam. They're like farming out their development, and it's all a front, as if they're recruiting people. I like that. Oh, I don't like it, but it sounds pretty awesome. Zyno, let's get this train up next level. Yeah, thank you. Pizza Geek. So if I was Al Borland, I could say, I don't think so, Tim. That's right. He would totally. He would be like, I don't think so, Tim. I'm okay with that. Salvarius, new video coming soon. A personal tour of Techno Tim's Wheat Center. No, I'll maybe I'll give the secret wink in the video of where the weed center is. Be like, no, there's no weed center. This is totally, yeah. They're gonna shut my stream down. JCX Life, how's it going? Good to see you. I've been telling a lot of stuff I've been doing on Discord. Yeah, you have, absolutely, sharing quite a bit. I owe you. Yesterday you said, what's in my everyday carry bag, or everyday, basically what I carry in my bag every day. I owe you that response. I thought about it this morning. I was like, I got to finish some stuff up in the basement, but I owe it to you. But yeah, definitely keep sharing. I love it. You've got a lot going on, a lot of interesting stuff for sure. Droid, this one's hard. Droy RZ Lover. I resubscribed. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kai. Oh, well, hello there. How's it going? I did with my morning coffee. Oh, awesome. Time to save up for the Northern Lights Twitch. LOL. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. 1,000 points. That's all it costs. I mean, it's a lot, but I think you can get it. I think you can get it one stream, or maybe two. JCX Life, my username compared to the one on Discord is stupid. Had to be longer than 4 characters on Twitch. I knew right away when I saw JCX and you mentioned you've been sharing on Discord. I knew it was probably you. So thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Oh yeah, JCX Live _. Oh, there you go, underscores. Then it's kind of hard to mention. Oh well, maybe they parse it right. Let's see. I built a storage pod. So this is from JCX. I built a storage pod with a fractal node 304 case. Nice. Gonna mount a 7-inch status screen inside the case where the fan grill was. Oh, that sounds super awesome. So the fan grill, I assume, would fit on the front or top. Or maybe it was on the side. I don't know the fractal node 304 case, but sounds awesome. I want to see this. I have some ideas too with my new server room with panels and displays. Definitely lights. There will be lights down there, but it's send pics because they totally inspire me. Let's see. Tinkerfoo, trying to figure out why I can't get Rancher working. Oh no. I started all over again with a new dedicated cluster. No, the Rancher bots do not start, but when I navigate to the Rancher page with the browser, it just shows an empty white page. Hunting faulty behavior is hard, but as a dev, nothing new to me. Well, the day will come when I get it running. Hey, I hope you get it running. Some clues. If you just built a brand new cluster, there are a couple of hot spots. One is, I think, when you get Cert Manager up and running. I think I have a note about that in my documentation to make sure that it actually starts up. There's a couple places where it's like, okay, wait until this starts up until you copy and paste the next step. But then look at the logs. Like, logs can sometimes be helpful. Sometimes they're non-existent. But do a Docker log or log out. Kube control, log out what that container or that pod's logs are. Maybe there will be some hints in there. If they did it right, there should be some hints in there as to what's going wrong. Because a white screen is not good. White screen to me says something's partially working. Like an error screen's almost better than a white screen. A white screen's kind of like, hey, someone thinks something's working, but it's not. So a couple hints. I mean, immediately, if I saw a white screen, first thing I'd do, being a web developer, I'd open up the Chrome DevTools and hit F5 or Command R, or if you're using a Mac, and refresh the page and see what the response said. And I would look at the network response, and it would probably say 404, hopefully not 200, give you some HTTP status code, and I would say, okay, that's odd. And sometimes you'll see messages in there. Might be a 500. 500 would be good because then they might bubble up the stack trace. But that's on the developer side. But then on the Kubernetes side, operationally, I would look at the logs for that pod and see what's going on. I don't know. Oh, that must have been in the song. I was like, why do I hear like machines or horses? Anyways, it might have been outside too. Anyways, John, I assume this is John. It is. Just got the OS installed on 2 computers, and I'm having to get it all working over the next few days. Nice, man. Oh, yeah. So since you're doing a dual build system, you got to basically build two machines, 2 operating systems. Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds super fun to me. Sounds super fun. Let's see. Droid. I'm currently working on Firepower Management Center right now. That's what you mentioned earlier. I need to know more about Firepower Management Server. I think someone mentioned it to me before. Need to Google it a little bit more. Let's see. Claude P, have you heard about Traffic Hub? It's a new service in beta from Traffic Labs to offer load balancing, multi-cluster, and cluster management. Sounds interesting. Yeah, I am. I am familiar with it. I've looked at it a little bit. And so part of that, too, is part of their service is it's actually really cool. They can do monitoring on your load balancer, too. So I actually set it up. At first I was like, oh, I don't know if I want third party to have load balance and metrics, but I looked at the metrics and it's they're it's pretty harmless stuff. It's not actually what's going on traffic wise. It's more of status codes and uptimes and error codes and stuff like that. Anyways, I have heard of it, and I did set up the traffic like cloud load balancing monitoring. It's actually pretty cool. You get some decent metrics out of it, kind of high level stuff that you would want to pay attention to. You get uptime notifications, which is cool too. So every time my load balancer just dies, which it never does unless I shut it down, traffic sends me an alert saying, "Hey, your load balancer hasn't checked in a while." And I'm like, "This is pretty cool." But I have uptime alerts set up elsewhere though that actually check my services from the outside in to make sure that they're running. But I'm like, this is pretty cool. The other cool thing is like you can actually add middleware through a plugin system that they have, and not even touch your own installation too, which is pretty cool. They're doing some really cool stuff. And a lot of the plugins are all community driven too for middleware. So I'm like, this is actually getting pretty cool because I can configure my load balancer outside of my load balancer if I want to. So pretty cool. But I'll need to look into multi-cluster and cluster management stuff too. Cause it sounds interesting. I have three traffic load balancers running in my environment right now. So, and that's why I set up monitoring on all three, because I'm like, I want to know how this works for my internal stuff. I want to know how it works on Docker, and I want to know how it works on Kubernetes too. So yeah, let's see here. But yeah, thanks for sharing, Claude B. Jay Jones. Hey, hi, hello there. How's it going? Cyberfur. Hi. Hey, synth. That's a lot. Nice shirt. Thank you. Yeah, this is my old, this is pretty cool. I think it's cool. I've had it for a while, but it's, a diagram of a NES gamepad, like the best one ever. The D-pad, they created this D-pad, and they actually had a little thing I learned is they had a trademark or a copyright on this D-pad for a long time. And that's why no one could ever do the same D-pad as Nintendo for a while. Everyone had the webbed one, like an Xbox 360 had the webbed one. I think with around Xbox One-ish was the first one that actually had the D-pad, like a traditional D-pad we think of. And I think that's because their copyright ran up. But anyways, yeah, I'm a huge fan, NES fan. I grew up on Nintendo as my babysitter for about 5 years. Let's see. So Droid, RZ Lover. Hey, Tim. Any suggestions for a 10 gigabit switch? I'm going to start building out a new vSAN cluster soon. That's a huge topic. I can't make a personal recommendation myself. Like I don't have a 10 gigabit switch yet. I mean, my Unify switch does have a 10 gigabit uplink, and arguably my UDM Pro has 10 gigabit for only WAN, but I haven't had, a switch that's dedicated to 10 gigabit networking. A lot of people go with MikroTik because they're so affordable and because they're so affordable and capable at the same time. But it really depends on, kind of what you have now. Like, do you have an existing network infrastructure and you want to, build out a similar ecosystem? Or are you okay with getting any switch as long as it, has 10 gigabit and has the features and functionality you want? But MikroTik, I don't think you can go wrong. Like if you're not particular, I mean, if you are particular and if you're not particular, it's a great choice. Like no one, I've never heard anyone complain after they get a MikroTik switch. Which one? I don't have one off the top of my head. But Craft Computing, Jeff, he has a couple. I'm sure he has some great recommendations. And then Tom Lawrence has done some stuff on it too, for sure. But I'm getting to the point where I'm going to need it, and I think I am going to run 10 gig maybe to my new data center here in a little bit too. GCX Life, I totally broke a Proxmox CoroSync system. Removing offline server is a nightmare. I've done it once. So JCX, I've done it more than once. It is kind of tricky. Like you have to stop some service and then you have to edit some file and remove that system from that file, that config, and start the service back up. I've done it 2 or 3 times because once I was testing joining to a cluster, and then I was like, whoa, I don't want this one to be in the cluster anymore, and then removed it. I didn't have any problems, but I'm sure I probably got lucky. Proxmox, as you probably saw, has a wiki page on how to do it. I followed that and it worked out pretty okay. I mean, who knows? It could be a ticking time bomb that one day it's going to blow up. But that's what I followed to remove it. But you already have one. Removing an offline server is a nightmare. Yeah, I guess, was mine offline or not? Maybe it wasn't. And it's, yeah. Good luck with that. Let me know if it's super odd or super weird. Something I should be aware of too. Kai, I'm currently trying to get into VLAN's firewall rules for Unify. Gotta get myself the DMZ and server like VLAN set up, plus backup rebuild, documentations, restruction, I like it, and creating processes in place to get test before prod. Oh yeah, plus getting into DevOps. Man, you got a lot going on. Awesome. Well, I don't know if you heard me mention earlier, but if you need help with VLAN stuff on Unify, like I said, it's my natural color. Google him on YouTube. His part 3 video of his 4-part series is where it's exactly how I set up my VLANs. I mean, to an extent, and I added 2 or 3 more than he did. I think he had 3 or 4. I think I have 5. But yeah, if you need some help, let me know, because I went through that same thing as you did. But man, you got a lot going on. Test before prod. I only have like 2 test systems here in my home lab. The rest is kind of my prod, my home prod. And so I know it's tough to be able to test something, especially at home. Like home is, kind of where I play, but at the same time, like I have a lot of stuff in my house that needs to stay up and work, especially, my wife and I working from home. And then there are other things like Plex. It needs to record TV. If certain shows don't get recorded, I hear about it. So, I wish I had a one-to-one test to home prod environment here at home, but I don't. So it's tricky testing that out. And, even when I was making those changes on my networking to put in VLANs, I basically took my phone and I took my whole network down. I turned my phone into a mobile hotspot and told my wife, use this all day. And it worked out okay for her. But, basically my home was offline for a day while I did all of that and figured it out, especially firewall rules. Those are kind of hard to track down too. But, I would say, create a plan, plans help, and then implement them and then react to everything that goes wrong. Man, I'm behind on follows. So let me see. Way behind on follows. I need to turn my alert back on. So I'm going to get caught up. Bitmonger the first. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Cyriv, I think I said that, but thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Tech Rookie, I said these. CD Fortes, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Code Custard, Mr. Demon Wolf 0, Echoes of Dreams, like it. And HFT have to mayo. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Okay, guys, I'm going a little bit over time. If you're new to the stream, I try to keep it to 1 hour on Saturdays. I'm not trying to bore you guys all day or tie you guys up, especially on a long weekend. So I'm going to look either for direct mentions or where you mention my name. And I'll try to be brief, but I apologize. Yato King. Hello, Tim. Greetings from Austria. Thank you. I recently watched your webtop video and I like it a lot. Do you know if it's possible to drag and drop files from the webtop to your client and vice versa? I don't think it is. It sounds like an awesome feature, and I think some people have brought that up. I don't know if it is. I would have to look at their documentation. I haven't been able to do it. Like when you try to drag it and drop it, and Chrome tries to open it up, and it's like, what is this file? It would be awesome though. It would be awesome. That sounds like a fantastic feature. Shepherd Dimalone. Hey Tim, greetings from the Netherlands. Thank you for your videos. No problem. It helped me a lot by understanding K3S and various other stuff. Really helpful. How you explain it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Currently, I'm building a microservices architecture with CI/CD and K3S and NATS with NATS as a message system. I don't know NATS. I know NAT, but not NATS. It sounds like a competitor to Kafka, maybe. Anyways, this is my experiment on how it works for my work. Nice. I like it. I totally understand everything you're doing. Microservices architecture for some of your APIs. And then CI/CD, awesome. K3S, but NATS, I don't know. So there must be some message bus or message queuing system I'm not familiar with. Thanks for the message. Hopefully it goes well. That's awesome. You're learning something. You're going to apply it at work over the weekend. So hats off to you. Let me see. Pexabot team. Hey, Techno Tim, ever worked with an IoT on the edge with GPU processing? Tesla-like organizations are becoming common for what you do on the edge processing and posting to the cloud. No, I haven't done IoT Edge with GPU processing. I don't think that I have. It sounds pretty awesome. Yeah. Everyone's moving everything to the edge and doing everything there. But PackSpot team, give me some examples other than Tesla. I would love to know, like, what are those workloads? What do they look like? Because then I'll have a better idea of like how I could apply it. Remote coffee. Hey Tim, greetings from UK. Big fan of your videos. Thank you. Appreciate it. Notepads. All right, that's probably going back to notes. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna look for mentions now, just because I don't want to continue to bore you. Remote coffee. Are you on GitHub? Absolutely, I am. If you use ! GitHub, you will see it. Or just Google Techno Tim GitHub, and it should come up. I'm going to look for mentions for sure. Solo Soy Franco. At Techno Tim, thank you for your videos. No problem. What software do you recommend in Windows 10 to connect multiple VPNs? IPsec, Cisco, Unified, Fortinet router. Windows 10 built-in VPN sucks. It disconnects very often. For multi VPNs, I don't even know. Usually I just get the VPN client from the vendor itself. That probably isn't the best answer. It's unfortunate that the Windows built-in VPN client disconnects itself, because I usually try to go native until I can't anymore, and then I grab the VPN client from the vendor itself, which, like for OpenVPN, for a lot of these companies that do SSL VPN, it's all, OpenVPN under the covers, but then they just, they put their own branding on it. But if you look in the folders, it's the same OpenVPN config file and certificates. Anyways, you're not talking about OpenVPN, you're talking about different stuff. If Windows native doesn't work for you, go directly to the vendor. That's what I would do. Let's see. Techno Tim, I just Googled CRIO. It is a containerization platform. All right. So CRI is the container runtime interface, I assume, in Kubernetes. And so then it must be using that? Yeah, I have to look. Thanks for checking in for me. I wish I could Google stuff very easily. Techno Tim, Firepower is Cisco's new firewalls. All right. Thanks for the tip on that. I'm totally out of the loop on Cisco's new firewall called Firepower. I like the name. A fallen Ruby. Hey, thanks for the Prime sub. Thank you so much. Thanks for spending your Prime on me. Thank you. I do apologize. I'm looking for mentions now, just because I do kind of have to wrap it up. Don't want to take up your whole entire Saturday, and I am a little bit over, but. Let's see. Oh, that's a reply with my name, and it doesn't count. Droid Z Lover. What do you use for network management? I use Cacti and Observium. I'll wrap it up with this, and it's probably not the most popular opinion, but you guys know that I use Unify. So Unify gives me, a pretty good view of my entire network, and so I haven't found the need yet to use anything other than Unify. To manage my network or even document my network, because it's all in there. Granted, like their whole client page has been, 6 months ago it was terrible. Now it's better, but it keeps getting better because they keep revving on software. So I'm not using any, I'm using Unify. It's part of the promise of using, something that's deeply integrated and using something that's still part of the ecosystem. I'm using Unify. I haven't found the need for a third-party tool yet. I might at some point, because, if I ever go on a different platform, I want to make sure that whatever I'm using is agnostic. So, okay, guys. Hey, thank you so much for coming out today, for joining, for all your questions. There were so many questions. Like the last couple of weeks, I've been very close on when I have to skip down and jump into only looking for mentions. This week there was pages and pages, so I appreciate it. I'm very sorry if I didn't get to your question. If you still have questions, you can absolutely join our Discord. We have a Discord we're almost up to 5,000 people now in our Discord, which is fantastic. It blows my mind. If you have a question, post it there. There are so many people, so many smart people a lot smarter than me, who have done similar things, who have figured it out, who are willing to help. But also, if you can ping me too, I'll absolutely try to find either an answer to your question or point you in the right direction. And if you just want to hang out and talk about tech, absolutely the right place. If you guys are around next weekend, I will be here next Saturday. It's what I do. Saturday, 3 o'clock Central Time. And then I'll try to have something out for you this week for sure. And I'm going back to work on my data center in the basement. That was the secret wink for, I don't even want to mention again. They're going to totally take my stream down. Anyways, I'll see you guys. Hey, if you're in the US and you have an extended long weekend, be safe and enjoy the extra day if you have it. If you're not, hey, enjoy Saturday, Sunday, and Monday too. And I will see you guys later on this week. And have a great rest of the weekend and be good to each other. Take care, folks.